Hey all, how are you going? Welcome with me, Redsky, here on another round of Righteous Readings, where I give raw, righteous, real readings to you guys, my beautiful avid viewers. I must begin, before we begin, with saying I wanted to give you guys a lovely surprise today with the rest of the love round. I had a free day. I had purposely built to go live. But the moment I was set up ready to go for it, my internet crashed and I've not been able to get it up for the last 3 hours. And I'm actually waiting my internet provider to call me back. It's my black box, the NBN black boxes. That's Telstra owned. That never goes down. Never has it ever gone down to one light when it should have 4. So I'm here now, very unprepared, very disheveled, and a little bit pickled over my circumstances. So much I was actually just about to jump in the shower because this is pissing me off. But we won't be discouraged. Instead, what we will do is we will work with what we got. And Redsky, if nothing else, is the bestie at working with crumbs and making creme brulee. So today we are going to make this house of cards into a castle fit for dragons and a queen. So, how are we going to do that? We're going to push on through. So it won't be live, obviously. I won't be ready because obviously I'm not. But we aren't going to let this derail the process. This has been a struggle for me. Since 2023 came around, actually end of 2020, for a while now, I'm struggling. I never used to have to find time in the day to pick up a deck of cards. I have them loitred throughout my house everywhere. I would spend hours shuffling. I love the feel. I love the relaxational, meditational presence it gave me. For months now, I have not had time to even pick up a deck of cards, and when I do, it feels almost foreign to me. Just so strange, because I've always felt like a packet of cards was literally in my hand at birth from the time I came out of my mother's womb. Now, you may find that strange, but my mum taught me from a very young age how to play cards. Something that we like doing, and my mum would regularly have card nights for bets. You know, the 1 and 2 cent pieces and 5s and 20s. Nevertheless, you know, it's all in good fun. Nothing's like over the top. But, you know, you play to rules. And those rules would be upheld. You either won or you lost. It was that black and white. There was no grey in it. And a royal flush always beats. But lately I barely hold my cards, let alone do anything with them. When I do, it feels so foreign to me that it's strange. Because I've never had that before in my life. And I've been struggling to get readings done. It's not the fact that I even don't have the time or the circumstance like today. But I feel unprepared or almost pulled to not. And I find that very strange because I'm always pulled to the unknown or the wanting to know, and, you know, seek and thou shalt find. And I'm always looking to seek to find information, to learn. But I want to get this love round done for February, as it is Valentine's Day next week, and I wanted to go live today because Tuesday's Valentine's Day, but the day after Valentine's Day is a very important day for me. It holds great significance and real importance to me. And you guys are all very important to me. I know I've been very absent. So I wanted to share this very important festivity with you, so that you know that I haven't forgotten about you. You're still all very much part of my family here in Australia, even when you're not here, or even when I'm not there. Not being forgotten. The 15th of February is my youngest children, my twin boys, my DCDA twin boys, turned 4, Ryder and Shannon. Now, some of you will know that Shannon has been going through my youngest magnitude of tests at the moment, and we just did a really big one yesterday at the leading hospital here in Adelaide. I'll put a timestamp, people. I know you're all getting very irritated. I can literally feel the clicking and the tapping. So you can skip it all. But that was a hard day, and I think I still haven't fully got over that. I've been really warmed lately by the generosity of people, and yesterday on the way to the hospital, 40 minutes into the drive in Adelaide, city of Adelaide, city of churches, the city of fucking nightmare traffic, back-to-back bullshit, with lanes that go to 3 to 2. I don't know what the fuck that happened, but there's a bus about to cut me off and kill me. Far from a place called Regency Road, just beyond, as you go up to a slight hill of satellites. And a car had broken down, a small little hatchback, two-door, like a Ford Focus Festiva, with a gentleman, about 60 years of age, a bit round of stomach, Italian descent, the most beautiful smile. This man was sweating bullets unlike anything I'd ever seen, trying to steer this car into oncoming traffic that are doing 60 k's up a hill to get his car off the right-hand lane, because we into the left side to then be able to go into the side road and get out of the way of the cross intersection, which was blocking all the traffic of the right-hand lane, which is an overtaking lane on the main highway. This was a very dangerous manoeuvre, to say the least. And no one was getting out and helping him, and this poor man is trying to push a car on his way up a hill. Now, I know this experience. 12 months ago, that was me on a roundabout pushing a V6 Holden Commodore 2001 model station wagon on my own with flip-flops, thongs basically, while steering and trying to not get hit by oncoming traffic that were beeping and hurling abuse at me. Now, at this T intersection, everyone had come to pretty much to a dead halt. No one knows what 80k is doing. I put my hazard lights on because I'm one car behind him, and that car screamed into the left lane to piss off. Right-hand lanes next to us are turning lanes, and they're not going anywhere right now because they're on a red light. We're on a green. Nevertheless, I get out of my car. I said to my daughter-in-law sitting next to me, "Well, Shannon, I'm getting out. I'm going to help this fellow. No one's going to get out and help him." She's like, "No, you can't." I'm like, "Yeah, fucking can. Never tell me I can't do something." I get out of the car, walk up to the gentleman. I'm like, "Hey, mate, need a push?" And he's like, he looks at me up and down. He goes, "Oh, love, no, but thank you." And I just looked at him like a little bit of, "No, seriously, you steer, I'll push." And he's just like, "My love, no, please." And he looked so merciful and embarrassed in his face. I didn't know what else to do but to return to my car. The moment I did, his car started to reverse down the hill slightly, and I could see him needing to brace so hard just to hold this current position because it was in neutral. I could see the sweat and the look of fear in his eyes. I put my car back in park. I put my hazard lights back on. I went to jump out of the vehicle so damn fast. Before I even opened my door, 3 men from cars behind me, a red-headed man quite tall and lanky from a truck, was obviously doing some sort of food runs or delivery for business. Another gentleman in a suit, up class, definitely worked in Adelaide, like something office businessy, in shoes that were more expensive than my car. And another individual that was rather scruffy and very much Australian with his thongs on and shorts, helped push this guy off the road, and they did it with the most greatest of ease. That man had been sitting there, though, for a solid 10 minutes, 2 sets of those lights. It was a 40-degree day yesterday as we drove. It's always the time your cars break down, isn't it? It takes one to change the minds of many at times. And though it may seem small and slighted at the time, that small gesture, even though it may not move forward or come into a fruitional state, can be the change in the vibration that is needed, the drop in the pool of the ocean to make the ripple that makes an outcome come to pass that would otherwise never have been. Example, if I hadn't got out of the vehicle, even though my offer was declined twice, would anyone else have bothered to then realise the danger that man was in and then to bother actually helping? Because up to that point, no one gave a flying. Or was it pure coincidence? Or was it just the fact that everyone had got so iratedly pissed off in their 40-degree cars with their aircon sitting on idle that they just wanted the man out of the way no matter what? Patience and time are two things we are very short of in this world, and I'm here to tell you two things. Time does not exist, and patience, well, life is that of the lesson, isn't it? It is all just being patient, waiting. That's all we are doing. For a time that doesn't exist to come to pass, that never was, that will never be. Because the here and now is everything. It is infinite and it is inflammably beautiful. It's all about the perspective by which you see it. Glass half full or the glass half empty. Be the ripple in the pool of water. If you have a gut instinct and inclination to act, to do, for the next month of February, I want you to do it. Within reason, of course. Don't do anything crazy stupid that would get anyone into any sort of trouble, legal problems, death. No. Acts of generosity and grace, or acting upon an intuitional spark within. Do not ignore what you can't explain just because you can't explain it. Sometimes the greatest things in this world we do not yet understand, yet solely enjoy. So for that 12 minutes of absolute bullshit I raved on about, let's get into the remainder of the love signs for the month of February. We are up to the sign of Cancer, and we're going to travel through the Cancerian crab steps, through down to however far we can get through this star sign video. Venus placement is highly prevalent as it is a love round. We're looking at you and your person that you're connecting with for the month of February. Thoughts, feelings, intentions, the sign being read towards the cross watcher. Then the cross watcher towards the sign being read. Roles can be reversed. Take the side that resonates. Don't forget to also check your other placements, that is your sun, moon, rising, and Mercury will give you a little bit of pinch of salt. But Venus is where it's at, people. For you and the cross watcher, for your person of interest, watch your Venus placements for both. And do it again. Alright, Cancerian crab gangs, let's look at your February 2023 month, the love route for you and your person of significance. The cross watcher. Oof, Cancer and cross watcher. The underlying energy that we have for the month of February for this partnership between Cancer and their person. The Queen of Pentacles reversed with the Three of Wands reversed. Buying into the bad side, not being a bit neglectful of our home or this relationship because of that. Maybe we just feel like we don't want to wait around for the shit to come in. We want action. But we're not really putting in much effort to get much of anything. Let me step through it. This is unclarified so far. Cancer, your thoughts towards this person for February. You're thinking the Five of Pentacles. So you're thinking that there has been a lot of desolation, loss, maybe a third party being pushed out, but your thoughts of that, not winning here. If anything, you've been a bit used and abused in some ways, especially around monetary. In your feelings towards this individual for February, we have the Seven of Swords. Now, this is the real part of sort of, wow. We talk about the Seven, there's always that sense of thievery, cunningness, someone needing to save their own skin. Sorry, let me just fix up the lighting. I think there. Whoa, wow, that's. Sorry, when I accidentally flipped the camera, it made the light change a bit over the dark point of the dark side as well. Okay, well, that's a bit fragile too. But in the feelings of Cancer, it's a little bit fragile too as well. Seven of Swords, this is thievery. This is someone being very cunning, needing to save their own skin. And I feel like that's what you've felt. Like you've always been the one that's, in the thoughts, you've been used, pushed out in the cold, destitute, all at the loss. In the feelings, you're very hurt. You feel like you've been lied to. You've had thievery used against you, towards you. You've been mishandled. And what worries me is in the intentions, which is the next place, because we have another 5 coming through here. But we have something a little bit more prominent as well, because we had 2 cards come out for this placement, so I did the same for your cross-watcher. The intention Cancer has towards the cross-watcher for the month of February, the Magician with the 5 of Cups. Now this is interesting, because the Magician is the creator, the manifester. He has all of the ingredients, just needs to will it into creation, and he can do so, or she can do so, at just the thought, commitment of it being. But with the 5 of Cups, there is grief that is attained to this. There is a lot of loss also. But there is prosperity with 2 cups still savoured that we could move forward with. But the problem is, at this current point in time in February, Cancer, you cannot see that prosperity or brightness. You're lost in the 3 cups spill. And even with all of the manifestational, creational benefits that you have in your hands, it can't seem to fix the fact that you're 2 cups short. And I feel like that's really insignificant when you're the Magician. But I don't think you're seeing it that way. I could be wrong though. Let's go to the cross-watcher's point of view now. So, the cross-watcher towards Cancer now. Cross-watcher's thoughts. They're thinking towards Cancer, the King of Swords. So they're being very meticulous. They're using their real, their dialect, their it's just fallen beneath me. Their language, their repertoire, their to really direct things they want into action through their vocabulary and through the way they handle things. This is someone that is a good talker. Public speaking might be in their forte. But this is someone that can really talk anyone around to any way of thinking, whether they were in agreement or dead against it. But in the cross-watcher's feelings towards Cancer, I don't like it. Libra's major coming through here. Justice, but it's inverted. This is an injustice. This is feeling like you've been made an example of, and there's been bias and bigotry, severity shown towards you, and in the feelings, this is kind of a yucky energy. And then their intentions towards Cancer is not very nice either, I feel. The 9 of Cups reversed with the 8 of Wands reverse. They are realising that there is some mistakes and losses here, and they are trying to carry some of that burden, but I feel like there is still some disalignment here from how much part they really played in it and how much responsibility they're willing to cop for it. With the 8 of Wands reversed, this is why I say that, is because they're actively blocking, avoiding. I feel like there'd be a lot of if, and, buts, ors in the sentences after sorries. They're deflecting, they're not taking the responsibility or the culpability. And I feel like Cancer, you've had a gutful of that because you've worn all your fair share in the thoughts, the feelings. It's a hard one. The outcome so far, what I got for you guys, is 2 major arcana, both inverted though. Capricorns coming through now with the Devil reversed and the Fool reversed. The outcome of the 2 energies coming together, moving out of February, is trying to get away from this toxicness, this need to be codependent or depend on each other, to get away from anything that's bad, Maleficent ties you to and doesn't give you any control, puts restriction on you, puts chains. It's addictive or bad for you. The Fool, though, is saying, reverse, is saying to me that you are not taking enough steps, though, to get away from these things. You're being very neglectful. You're being very, very frenzy-ish. You're not going with the experience, you're forcing it almost. And as that's pushing and pulling it, you're not even paying attention to what's going on. So you're very misinformed. You're both very misinformed on what's going on with each other and how each other thinks and feels, I think. I think you're both hurt and you're both hurting each other because we're not really spreading it out nice and abled. What additional can I tell to Cancer? Wow. All right. The 5 of Pentacles reversed with the World card. Wow. Trying to have a hopeful outlook, trying to use that glass half full mentality when you're really dealing with a glass half empty. The World is saying the cycle will run its course and it will end. I feel like that's what you're preparing for. You already are expecting that. Crosswatcher side advice, please. Month of February towards Cancer. Crosswatcher advice, please. What is the Crosswatcher's advice for month of February 2023 towards Cancer, please? 7 of Swords reversed now with the 9 of Swords. You're coming across as a traitor. Someone that's not loyal, not honest, not dependable. There are many fears here at 9 of Swords. Nightmares. Real deep, dark, oogity boogity shit. There's a lot of things to fear in relationships and in this world in general. But when we look for shadows, we're only going to find more fucking shadows. And when we're already in a state of having a lot of these things that we need to deal with, why are we looking and searching for more? Final words now. Final words for both Cancer and the Crosswatcher in regards to this relationship for February 2023. 7 of Wands, the Mother of Swords, and the Ace of Pentacles reverse, the Emperor reverse at the bottom. Being weak-willed right now is not going to serve anyone any good. We need to speak with authority and gusto and genuinity, not be piss poor, not be weak-willed, not be, lose our power of ourself, let alone our authority to command. The advice here for you both is the 7 of Wands, Mother of Swords, Ace of Pentacles reverse. It's time to make the gains, and really, if you desire this, it's time to get up it and speak your truth, the raw truth. It may seem cold, but it needs to be done. It needs to be said. Everything needs to be laid bare. But with the Ace of Pentacles reversed, even once doing this and doing so, it doesn't mean that it's going to bear fruit. The seed may still stay seeded. It may not sprout. It may help with the bad feelings or miscommunication and ideals that you have towards each other and this relationship. But do I feel that it would be enough, therefore, to change it? The cards seem to think perhaps not. But that's not for everyone. You always have free will, choices that of your own, and the outcomes are always changeable. But that's advice I would say to keep very close to chest and keep in mind. From the Long Island Time Wellness cards, there's the additional messages for you both. with the butterfly, relationship evolving to the next phase, healing the inner child and growth. And I feel like that's what this is all about. We need to not bring more shadows into it. We need to deal with the shadows we've got. We've got to lay them bare on the table and really deal with this, and we can grow. Self-indulgence, focus on self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, and self-appreciation. Now, what did I just say, ladies and gentlemen? Shadow work, self-appreciation, healing, next phase, growth, healing that inner child, the butterfly, and self-indulgence. Relationship evolving to the next phase, healing the inner child, growth. Focus on self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, self-appreciation. Well, wow. Cancer and the crosswatcher. Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. And maybe that's some of the problem. The hustle, the bustle. Maybe other people got too much to say. Maybe they're leaning too much weight on it. Here we go. Codependency, addictions are affecting your love life. And I did say that with that devil reverse. Like you're trying to get away from something. Deception. Someone is wearing a false self-mask in this relationship. That's Seven of Swords. That came through very prevalently. So I feel like these cards are reflecting the past to the present. And I feel like these cards are reflecting what's coming to the present now, moving forward out of February. Retreat, codependency, and deception. Cancer and crosswatcher. It's a lot to keep in mind for 1 month, and it's not in its entirety. Try to do something nice for each other for Valentine's Day, just something special. What will help? Have long heart-to-heart talk. Get back to the roots of it all. Give me a moment and we will move, of course, to the next sign in line. My luscious Leos. Wow. In fact, we might just have a short, unscheduled break for a moment. So I have a cup of cigarette. Maybe just enjoy this blissful peace and quiet. Considering there's not much left. We will be back to the next sign in line. Leo for February and your person.